Hey skaters, this is David from Solo Inline. We'll go through a melting pot of skate adjustments today, so to get really your setup dialed in to suit your needs. First we'll start with the Lightning. There are two easy adjustments you can do. So first one is just to make sure that you understand that the memory buckle here. So these buckles have only 3 positions on this side, but there's also a micro adjustment on this side. So you just need to press this little button here, and then this allows the buckle to slide on this little rail. So this would be the smallest position here. Then when I press the button, I can slide it forward. So it gives me more room around the ankle. So I'll just demonstrate this again. So I can go back on the rail or forward. So this is the first thing you can do on this skate, just to adjust your cuff position. I'll just put it here at the lowest, at the smallest setting. There you go. Okay. A lot of people have been having a hard time because in the factory, the Lightnings. A lot of people have been telling us they have a... Ben oui, tu veux de l'attention, toi. Viens. We're at Stack Market here, and a lot of dogs. We have a little dog park, so always fun to have our friends here. So yeah, a lot of people have been telling us that the cuff is too tight for them. So and some don't know that there are actually 2 positions. So I'll just show you under the buckle here. There's another hole that you can use. So in the factory, they set those at the smallest position. So each pieces of the buckle are furthest back. So it doesn't give you a lot of room here for your leg inside the skate, but each of these can be moved forward using the other hole, so this will allow the cuff to open bigger. So I'll just show you here. So here you see the size, and we've already made the modification on this skate, so you can check on our Instagram. We've did the modification. You just need to remove this bolt and the receiver from the inside of the skate and just move them to the forward position. So you do that on each side. So see here, same thing. We've moved this from the factory setting here to the front. So this allows the skate to open much bigger. But still you can see this one opens much bigger than this one, just by this little extra room that we got here from moving this forward. So these are 2 things you can do to get your Lightning setup a little bit more customized. So now let's look at a customization we can do on the K2 skates. So that's applicable for any grid and surge models, any of those colors. People have been, sometimes they have a hard time getting the cuff closed, just because there's like so much plastic overlap and it makes it really stiff and difficult to get it tight. Some people like to have their cuffs really tight. Customization you can do is to remove some of this plastic, and you can see here like the notches, it always like guides you to where you could remove it. Only thing you want to keep in mind is you want to keep these 2 about the same length, so you wouldn't want to just like cut down one and leave the other one full. So we'll remove about like 1.5 centimeters on each side, just to show you the difference. So it's a pretty easy customization you can do. You can either do it with a set of pliers. What I had handy here is just like a little knife. So just be safe, ask for an adult. I'll just do like a little line here. And usually you can just like break it off. There you go. Pretty easy. Now let's do it on the other side. Just get your fingers out of the way. Ask for an adult if you're not sure. There you go. So if you make a little line, usually you should be able to break that off. There you go. So both are removed. Just make sure you check the edges here to make sure it's not too sharp. You wouldn't want to ruin, especially if you have an intuition liner. So now let's look at the result. So much easier to get it really tight here. Have a lot more room. See, and there's still a lot of plastic overlap, so if you want it even tighter, you can remove more. But I would advise to go progressively, maybe take like 1 centimeter at a time on each side, test it, see if it's tight enough for you. If not, then you can remove more. But you know, since we're cutting the plastic here, it's not, you cannot really go back on this modification on the K2 grid and surge. So another skate customization you can do, for example here we have this option on the FR skates, is to adjust the cuff height. So it's not necessarily standard on every FR skate, but it is on this one. So you can see that this cuff bolt here is off center, so it allows you to have 2 positions. So right now it's in the lowest position. We'll take it apart and we'll show you what it looks like when we switch it around. So usually the lower position is stiffer because there's more plastic overlap. When we move it up, so we'll just flip this around here. So there's even like 4 positions. You could move it backwards to the bottom. So here we'll just move it to the top. So you can see here I've created a gap. And you can see this is not a brand new skate, so it does have a little bit of experience. So now let's go on the other side. So I'll put it in the down position. Put that back into place. So what this will do is it will give you more mobility at the ankle. And also it will make the cuff a little softer because there's less plastic overlap. So in the first position there's more plastic overlap, but now we've created a little gap, so there's less plastic overlapping inside the skate. So it should give you a little bit more mobility at the ankle because there's less overlap. So another customization we can do on the FR boot is to change the position of these 45-degree straps. So you can see here there's a little piece, so I'll take it apart in a second. So this would allow us to move these 2 pieces back, so it would give me more range to tighten this 45-degree strap. So let's take one side apart. I'll show you how it works. So just remove the screw on each side. And you can see here there's this little removable plastic piece, and I'll just flip this around, and now I'll set this in the other position. There you go. So by having this backwards, I would be able to tighten my 45-degree tighter. So these skates are from a legend. Probably a lot of you follow Buzzkill Blades on Instagram. So I was able to touch her precious skates today. So we'll thank Buzzkill for that. Another customization you can do on many skates is to play around with the insoles and the amount of volume you have inside your liner. For example, on this one we have an Intuition liner and it comes with a heel pad. So depending on how much heel lift you want inside your skate, you could use this one either with the heel pad or not. I personally like to have my heel raised a little bit, so I'd rather have the heel pad on. And we do have a couple extra these shock absorbers or heel pad that you can get aftermarket. Also, some people like to have less room, so they want to be tight all around their feet. So again, in this one, in the K2, they have an extra insole that it comes with. It's for comfort, but also it makes sure that you fill the whole boot. I've been skating with it. At the beginning, when I was breaking my skate, I removed it from my skate because it was just too much, but then I reinstalled it. Especially if you're on an Intuition liner, it's so thick, you don't need necessarily to ride the skate with this insole. You can just ride with the Intuition liner. And some people would just add an extra insole under their liner just to pick up some room. Like for example, some that have a really high toe box, like Twister or Dem skates, you might want to add like an extra insole under your liner just to pick up some room. So these are all customizations you can do to make your skate fit better for you, that you feel comfortable, tight, secure inside your skate. There's so many possibilities that you can do, if it's for comfort, for support, so many things, just to get your skate really dialed in to how you like it and how you skate it. So, and if you have any questions, just contact us either by email, by phone, or by our instant messages. We always have some skaters ready to help you on there. So we're always happy to help you dial in your setup.